save, and then it's like, save me the hyperbole. I want the simple version. So we have to click here to get more about what they're talking about. I like this. Tell me more. So we have to click again.
What?
Forging new pathways, cultivating bespoke worlds. Oh, so like a record label. I like this. We have to click again.
What?
Well, yeah, kinda, but don't label us. So yeah, boxes and labels aren't really our thing. So what's your thing? We gotta click again.
What? Again?
Oh, wow. All right, I get it. But what do you actually do? We have to click again. The short answer is, oh my gosh. Everybody, welcome to the I'm Clifford Today show. I'm Clifford Today, and you're not, and this guy is not. This guy is Mr. Nic Gundy. He's back on the show after a long while. Nick, how's it going?
It does feel like a long while. It's been pretty dandy. We talked about it just like a smidge. I'll share you some good news. Well, as of this recording, yesterday on November 14th, I finally released new music. Woohoo! Specifically, I dropped an EP.
Woo, yeah.
Which is like five songs I've published, and I still got plenty more on the back burner, so those will be revisited and probably make more along the way. So we'll play by ear. But right now, I'm so excited.
Dude, yeah.
And very relieved because
it's
been forever.
No, go ahead. I interrupted you.
Yeah, because it's been forever since I released full on original songwriter type of music. And that was pre-COVID when I released my
didn't
album
you have
Retrace.
a couple singles a few years ago?
Yeah, I did. Then I released cover song of Blooming by Paper Kites with one of my Twitch friends, Millie Rouge, who's another music artist.
Mm-hmm.
And so that was 2023. And then 2022 was the last time I released original music all together for all streaming platforms, which was From Afar. And that was my lo-fi EP. A lot of fun.
Right.
So
yeah, dude. It's super exciting. I gotta say, I kind of forgot when your music was supposed to be coming out, and then and I forgot that you were releasing the whole EP, and so one of the songs showed up on my release radar, and I was like, oh, his new single's out, and I listened to it and I was like, hey, this song sounds great. And you're like, yeah, it's a whole EP actually. I was like, oh, I missed that. That's the one thing you got to be careful with release radar and Spotify. You gotta check and make sure, is this a single or is it an album? But yeah, it honestly, it sounds great, man. It's probably my favorite music that you've released so far. Actually, in my opinion.
So what was the single that So what was the single that released Radar shared with you? Do you remember?
Let me pull it up. I'm trying to remember the name of it. It was I Will Wait Again. Which is that's a pretty good track to if that was a single, that would be a great single right there.
Because I did,
and that's what I was thinking.
Yeah, because I actually did promote it as a offshoot single for a couple of weeks prior to the release, and I've shared on platforms, it was specifically available on Bandcamp and SoundCloud. It was test and large. So it was if anyone wanted to, as I had the EP up and ready to pre-save on a streaming platform, so that'd be ideal. I think I picked it up from somebody on YouTube to bring it some of the material over on some other platforms like SoundCloud and Bandcamp as like a little pre-game, a little testing waters to see how many people will like it, and like anyone can give support, like to support and donate
Yeah.
and like buy it. They were more than welcome to. So it was like it was already there and stuff. So yeah.
Yeah. True. So how's the release been so far? Have like people been talking about it? Talking to you about it or anything?
Excuse me. Yeah, I shared with it on one of my group chats. Excuse me, guys. I forgot to mute. I am off. I am.
It's
I'm out of it.
it's okay.
Okay. Anyway, listen. So I sent. So,
Don't worry,
so,
we'll move
yes,
on from that.
So listen. I sent it on one of my group chats yesterday, and then I had good fun reactions to it, and I let some of my coworkers know about it, and my boss was like, "Dick, Josh is playing your music." I was like, "Yeah,
Nice.
yeah." So everybody's
And
enjoying it.
who?
And
So that's great.
yeah, so
Sorry, we have a bit of a,
so
a
all
bit
the
of a lag
yes,
here.
yeah, I know, per usual. So I did all the instruments around here, and even my handy dandy keyboard that I also used on my lo-fi EP.
Nice.
And then the mixing.
It's a little guy.
And then the mixing was done by a Twitch friend of mine, Dean Chichozo, shout out, and a mutual friend of Clifford. And then mastered by a mutual friend of Clifford's, Nic Statina. Thank you so much for mastering as well. Yeah, go hire him as well.
Nice.
Because like I found,
Yeah.
yeah, because like I found out about him through Clifford because he worked on the Sherwood Forest EP "Still My Soul" several years ago.
Mm-hmm.
That's how I learned. So I was like, oh, okay. And then I knew Dean has produced and worked on loads of music, not just some of the band projects he's been. So I was like, yeah, I trust these guys. Do with all this with what you will. Oh yeah.
Yeah, no, it sounded great, and yeah, Nic Statina is a great guy. If you're a fan of any old school fans out there, Sherwood Forest, Still My Soul EP, best sounding EP we ever made. He also worked with Mitchell Owens on his solo project, Old Friend Fox, and some of Chandler's stuff. So yeah, I want to work with Nic again sometime, but yeah, and I so you did all the music, and don't worry, we're gonna get on with the show. I just wanted to kind of quick talk about this because it's Nic, and it sounded so great, and I want to promote it. But yeah, it sounded great, and it's cool that you did all the instruments, and so I'm guessing the drums, which the drums sound great, and I did notice some different vocals on there that weren't yours, so that was really cool.
Well, they are
too. Mine. They are yours. I thought I could hear some background vocals.
I did, yeah, because
that
like
weren't you.
I was
were the background.
Oh yeah, it's a full on one man band EP. So I did all that. So it was Dean who tweaked the EQ and sounds of it, because like like I know you and like anybody else who listens to my music, they're used to hearing my register of how I usually sing, and then like I was just, and then for the extra stuff I was just pushing it up to my tenor range. So it was like whatever. So it might just sound a little bit, dude. Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy. I could have sworn that it was someone else singing. So that's That's cool. Yeah, it sounds all great. Yeah. So well done, man. It's a
Thank
good
you, sir.
EP. It's called Been Forever, and by Nic Gundy. So guys, please check it out. I was super relieved too because like, it'd been so long since you'd done music. I was kind of worried that you were like gonna rebrand or something, but you've stuck to your sound, but it sounds so much better in my opinion than it has before. So
I agree.
yeah.
Even some people who've
Yeah.
listened to my music for a long time have noticed it's like a bit of a change in my style, and
Mm-hmm.
especially of how at least how I've recorded vocals and how I've gotten better at enunciating with time.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a lot of baby steps, and it's still got plenty. Yeah,
Yeah.
like I said, I still got plenty of songs on the back burner that still sounds similar. Because like,
Mm-hmm.
think of it like a tree. For example, there's like the Nic Gundy sound, and then the branches are,
Yeah.
and then there's like lots of branches that they're sprinkled in with varieties of styles and genres that I like and are accustomed to. So like it's like whatever I do, I sure hope so that like whatever in whatever directions I go in, there's a signature sound of me that's
Mm-hmm.
identifiable to the listener.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. Like it still sounds like you, but just new and improved. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah. Job well done for sure. You
Yeah,
guys go check it out.
yeah.
Please, you
Thank
will
you.
you will thank us later.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. Well, we got a lot to get to today.
Yeah.
I mean, not to mention the topic that everyone has come here for with the title. We're going to be talking about Anotherland Records and be going into all of that. But there's a few things to address. I mean, obviously, we haven't even addressed the elephant in the room. This is the first episode we've done since I announced that the I'm Clifford Today show is coming to a close, at least for the
Yes.
time being, for an indefinite amount of time. It may never come
Mm.
back. I don't know. But yeah, so hopefully this isn't the first time you guys have heard it. Hopefully you guys saw the video that I released a few days ago announcing that. So while it is sad that a certain format and an era is coming to an end, I think ultimately you guys are going to like what's going to be replacing it. In fact, not like I said in the video, not much is actually going to change in terms of content. It's just the format
Mm.
that's going to be changing.
Mm.
So I know we got a few comments from that video, but I'll also be
Oh, we do.
reading comments from the previous episode as well. Which,
Oh yeah.
by the way, there's a lot going on, and I know I've gotten some flack for not going to straight to the topic, but it's a weakness of mine. I think about the people who are who have been with me for a long time. I kind of think about them a little bit more than newcomers. So I'm hoping that people are interested in this. But oh, there goes my phone again. I'm still getting those calls from the insurance companies. I'm not even going to get into that. If you follow me on Instagram,
Good timing
and you've
because
seen my
the
story.
Jerry. Yeah, it's good timing because the Evan Perks video is playing in the background for the
Yeah.
podcast listeners. So it's like,
Yeah,
well,
there you go.
you could probably blur that one.
Whatever. It's fine. I think I'll go to the comments from the show announcement first. We'll get those out of the
Yeah.
way since we're talking about it. But and there's only a few. We got a comment from Chase Tremaine. Good hearing from you, Chase. He's a friend of the channel. the artist Chase Tremaine, and he's on Jesus Freak Hideout. Says, looking forward to the new style of videos moving forward. Thanks, Chase. I really appreciate it. He should know something about like changing a format, because even the Jesus Freak Hideout podcast has changed their uploading schedule and such to kind of focus on better content. So I totally get it. Next comment from LM says, you've been going hard at it for a while now. YouTube is not easy. Looking forward to future content. I appreciate that.
LRM. You said
well,
LM
I was
on
looking
accident.
at like how it shows up on his account, but his username is LRMF195. But
Yeah.
But yes, YouTube it's not easy, and especially like it's not easy in a way for me in that I have to make time for it, as opposed to like YouTubers who do it for their job. And so, but I do it for fun. I do it because I love it, and so I want to make it the best that it can be. And again, if you guys haven't watched the video, go watch it, because I explain more in detail as to why this change is happening. So make sure you're up to speed on that. But thanks, LRM. Appreciate it. Matthew Fuchs says, I've enjoyed your channel and your podcast. I'm looking forward to what the future holds for your channel. Thanks. And thanks, Matt. I know he's been subscribed for a while, so I really appreciate the support. So thanks, guys. And I've gotten even more feedback like on social media and from friends and such. And so do really appreciate the support. It seems that everyone seems to be on board with this. And I guess I haven't even asked you yet, Nick. What are your thoughts and feelings about all this?
Well, I definitely look forward to the change. More so because of the time commitment. So as fun.
Yeah.
So as fun as it is to periodically do these podcast episodes, it's the transition will be beneficial for all of us, so we can still have time to do the other things, and like all of us, we still have plenty of IRL commitments that need our attention the most. Like, for example, I'm trying to read the Two Towers.
I'm glad you have your priorities in order. But no, yeah, I totally get you, and that is all like another part of the reason why is, kind of the commitment, and asking like, my co-host to commit to it. I mean, not necessarily commit to it, but in order to keep them involved. It is tricky sometimes working around everyone's schedules and such. And so I think the new change will make things a lot more freeing and hopefully a lot more fun in a way. And plus I'll be including, kind of like with the past couple episodes, I plan to also incorporate other friends and such that I think will be good for whatever particular topic the video might be. So yeah. So we'll see how that goes. So, all right. Well, we'll move on from that. Got a few comments from the last episode, which, by the way, please check out the last episode. It was so much fun. Had Jonathan Allen Wright and Eric Tuffinson from Sower. It was a fantastic conversation. We talked about the current state of CCM and just where we think things are at and where things are going, and I think it was a very beneficial conversation. So
that was a lot.
A little bit of.
I agree.
Yeah, I think so. It was one of my favorite episodes I've ever done. So I plan to have them on more for other stuff for sure. And we've had a group chat going, and we've kept it going Like I started it because I wanted them on the show, but now we've just kind of kept it going. So yeah. But yeah, we got a little bit of response from it. We got a comment from Nehemiah TV, and asks, why is there no Christian shoegaze or Christian symphonic metal? And Nick, you had already responded to this comment.
Yeah.
You had suggested a band called HB that you knew from your youth group days.
Yep.
So like they're a symphonic band, and I'm sure that there's others. I'm just not that well versed with a lot of the different genres of metal. But and then Koi Koi also responded, and he stole my suggestion. He suggested Starflyer 59, which they're the most popular Christian shoegaze band. I'm sure there are others. I'm also not that well versed in shoegaze, but there's Starflyer 59, and of course there is the Rocky Valentines, who is the son of Jason Martin from Starflyer 59. So you can start there. Like I said, I'm sure there are others. There's like literally thousands of other bands. So hopefully that pointed you in the right direction. Just look for those bands. And you know what? In fact, there's also, speaking of Starflyer 59, there was a band that Jason Martin started with Dave Bazan, who is not a Christian, but Jason Martin is. But they started, I'm trying to find, I think it's called like, I'm trying to find it. It's like Pup or something. I don't know. I gotta find this now. It's gonna bug me. Let's see. Google band Jason Martin. I can't type with one hand. Dave Bazan. Low Tom. I don't know why I was thinking about dogs for some reason. But yeah, Low Tom is a band that Dave Bazan and Jason Martin started together with T.W. Walsh and Trey Many. I can't tell you off the top of my head if they're necessarily shoegaze, but I'm sure. But Pedro the Lion and Starflyer 59 are both shoegazy, so you might like them. So I would say go check that project out. But that's all I really got in terms of shoegaze and such. So hopefully that starts you in the right direction. Thanks for the comment, Nehemiah. We also got another comment from Isaac Holsworth. Dude, really appreciate your comments and your support. And he says, great episode with 3 exclamation points. He says, I also struggle with not being too pessimistic or just doubting everything I see, but I think there are good reasons to be skeptical of Forrest, meaning Frank Forrest, not necessarily of his zeal or intentions, but of his ultimate impact. I wouldn't want to say that he's a false Christian or anything like that, but there are some concerning things he's said and done. Ultimately, I think, like they said, he'll face some kind of ultimate test, and I think things will be made clear. I just pray that he ends up on the right side of things. I still don't like his music, though, LOL. Side note, I cringe a little when people compare him to Keith Green simply because Keith was such an enormously talented musician and singer and lyricist, and Forrest makes simplistic, dare I say, cheap music using pre-made sounds. It's not like all his music is bad, but he prides himself in writing songs in a half hour and putting out 80 songs a year. Not sure what kind of quality you can really achieve when that is your method. That's all. Thank you for the great listen. Those guys are awesome. Agreed. Thank you so much, Isaac. And yeah, I can see a lot of what you're saying. Like, as much as we've praised and criticized Frank. If you watch the episode, there's plenty that we criticize about him. But he also, I wouldn't say that Frank Forrest with all of his music is even my cup of tea either. there are a few songs that I like. In fact, I did name one of his songs in the top 10 list of last year. But I can't say
Oh,
all of it I'm in love with. And yeah, I mean he's
I don't even sorry,
pretty
I don't even
incomparable to
remember
Keith
which
Green.
music it was at all. I don't even remember which song it was. It's been so far removed.
Yeah, I can't remember.
I mean that doesn't matter.
I
I
have the
just completely
playlist right
forgot that
here.
he. Oh yeah.
Yeah, he wasn't like, he was more at the bottom 10. He was the
Oh
eighth
yeah.
best song, it looks like. More Than a Feeling. That's the song that I picked for the top 10. So,
Well,
but
I don't remember that
for
one
any
at all.
yeah, it's been a while. I forget sometimes too. Like, so I forgot that Darker Side by David Kushner was my number one from last year. Oh wait, no. Oh, I forgot that I had this playlist intentionally out of order so that you guys could guess what placement it was.
That's
So
right.
no,
Yeah.
More Than a Feeling was not number 8. Yeah, I don't remember what place it was, because I was like, I thought that, yeah, it was Ryan Stevenson's Just As You Are. That was number 1 for me. So, my bad. Misinformation right there. So yeah, point is, there are things that some of his music is kind of hit or miss for me. And Keith Green was an incredible talent. I mean, just his piano playing alone, like if you watch him, he was an incredible pianist. And there's there's a video on YouTube of Keith Green when he was like 11 years old. Like, little known fact, before Keith Green was saved, like when he was a little kid, he almost became like a child star. Like, he made an appearance on TV and everything, and like almost got signed, but they passed him up for some other guy. But he could have been a big child star, which thank goodness that he avoided that hell of a life, I'm sure. But Keith Green was he was a natural talent, and just putting aside his like theology and his ministry impact and such, he was just really good at what he did. And yeah, I agree. I think Forrest has a little while to that. The thing is, with like when we're talking about his zeal and all the things that he's doing, is that, and we made this point, is that he is young, and I think he's just starting to kind of figure things out. And I think we're just watching it in real time. But who knows? I'm doing my best not to try to put him on a pedestal, because it might be too early for that. But at the same time, we're all just really excited about what's going on. And I think that, and I might have made this point in the last episode, I think we're just really desperate for someone like Keith Green or Rich Mullins to come back into the industry, because I don't think we've had that for a long time. So, but we'll see. I'm excited to watch Jonathan Allen Wright's video on Forrest Frank. I think that's going to be really insightful about a lot of things. So, I don't know. Any thoughts on that, Nick?
Well, I've had thoughts about this for like a couple of weeks, and I've had to restrain myself from like making a comment in the channel, so on one of the videos, because like I gotta hold back, Nicholas. But here I shall make my thoughts clear. So,
Okay.
so like, quick reminder for listeners: Nic Gundy is a former Protestant and a very unorthodox Christian. So I am still. It's been at it for about over a year and a half, and I'm still a baby in the faith. And my conclusion is, if it comes to Forrest Frank and my bishop, I'm going to my bishop. Straight up, straight simple, and like all the wisdom.
Oh, sure.
I've got, and all the wisdom that I have heard, and like trying to do my best to keep in mind for like the past couple of years, I'm like, it way surpasses whatever theology Forrest Frank was given. And still, I think there's a YouTube channel called Isabella Cameron. Like, I didn't listen to her video, but she did share a little essay video about the issue with baby Christians, like those who have recently converted
Mm-hmm.
and into finding God and being involved in it into their best understanding. And like, it's a kind of similar thing like with Oliver Anthony from some years
Mm-hmm.
back.
Yeah.
It's like the same thing as well. It was like, oh yeah, it is one. Because like, I've because like I'm still trying my best to be an encouragement and share wise things with others, but not out of my own mouth, but out like even Clifford's seen it. Like, I usually share things from the church fathers and the saints alike, and some of my Instagram stories. So the point
Mm-hmm.
being, I'm still young. I may have learned a lot, but I am definitely not in the educational position, nor do I have the type of training nor the phronema to teach to help teach others about the true faith. And oh no,
Right.
because I don't even know if I'm called into that, like in specifically if the clerical life would be beneficial for my salvation in the long run or not, because I don't know. I don't know. But don't. And like to quote Jay Dyer from one of his live streams, don't listen to 25-year-olds about theology.
Well, I think he's like 30, but yeah, I totally
Well, he's in
get
his
your
40s.
point. And I think. Oh no, I mean Forrest Frank. I think is like.
Oh, I meant
30
Jay Dyer.
something, but
Sorry, two different people.
okay, yeah.
But
Right.
but yes,
yeah.
still.
But no, I think you make an excellent point. And I think that is definitely something that we can agree on, like Protestant or Orthodox or Catholic or whatever. And I don't know, that would have been a good point to bring up in the last episode. So like, whoever you are, like go, because we live in an
Shut
age
your
of
mouth.
like celebrity Christians and celebrity pastors. Even, I mean, there are plenty of like preachers that I love to watch and listen to, but ultimately, no matter who you are, go to your pastor or go to your priest or bishop or whatever, because I mean, they need your support more than ever. But ultimately, you listen to them, you submit to them in a way. I mean, like, submit to Christ and submit to his word. But I think there's a certain degree of submission to our pastors that I think is not really talked about enough. So yeah, ultimately, I think they should come before, any internet influencer or musician or whatever. So I think that's a good thing to remember. Like, I think that I'm blessed to have the pastor that I have, and the church that I have. So don't get lost in like the internet and celebrity and everything. Look to your local church. I think that's a really good point to make. But at the same time, as people who care about the music industry, it is really nice to see some people who are speaking up and like doing different things, especially since we've had so many problems with it. So I think that's the reason why we're all excited about it. About the potential.
There you go. I mean, everybody else is. I'm not. I'm just doing my thing.
Yeah. And you keep doing it, man. Okay, last question, and I know we're going long with this intro.
Last comment.
But whatever. It's the second to last episode. I don't care anymore. But so last comment from Mark. Mark responded because if you haven't checked out the last episode, I decided it would be interesting to take the comment from the previous episode and bring it up to Jonathan and Eric and see how they would respond. That's right. And I was like, well, hopefully this was a good idea. Hopefully he doesn't feel like that we're making fun of him. He was mostly kind of complaining about the episode with Steven and how we were talking about the Christian Super Bowl halftime show, and how Mark's stance was he didn't really think that it was a great idea. And so Eric, and Jonathan responded to it. And so thankfully he got back. He commented on the video and he says, to be frank, which I don't know if that was intentional, but I like that. To be Forrest frank, that was one of the best episodes I've ever listened to of your podcast. I took no offense to what you said and was almost crying laughing. I appreciate the 15 minutes of fame, Asante Sana, which isn't that a Lion King? It's like Asante Sana, probably. I think it is. But yeah, first of all, thanks, man. I do think it is one of the best episodes that we've done, just because like Jonathan and Eric are so much fun and very insightful as well. So it's probably going to be downhill from here. So that's probably going to be the peak of the show. So I apologize in advance. Bringing us back though, which I like that. The conversation was excellent, and I hope more people get their eyes opened about the business side of the Christian music business. I've wondered when it all changed. Was it the 80s when Jesus music went from a movement to a business? Was it the 90s when Christian music boomed economically and in quality? Was it the 2000s when Christian music became all samey? Then I go back to thinking about my favorite bands from the past like Petra, Stryper, and Newsboys. I wonder how much of their success was organic and what of it may have been manufactured. Maybe I'm just being too shoegazy. Been listening to too much Starflyer 59, which, I wonder if you saw the comment from before. You probably did, but I like that. After the show, I listened to Sower, and you know what? It's darn swell, and I think I'm a fan. Solid stuff. Thanks for getting me into a band you've talked about for years. Which, has it been that long? I don't know. Overall, a great show with two great guests. Lastly, is one of them from North Carolina? Which, if you know, you know. Jonathan actually responded to that, said, I'm from California. And Mark responded saying,
no, he's not.
Isn't that what?
He says, I'm from North Carolina. Sorry, guys. Clifford can't read today.
Oh, did I say South Carolina?
No, you said California.
Oh, what is wrong with me? I don't know. I'm going to stroke out at the end of this podcast or something.
You want me to take over?
No, it's okay. So WA, that's what is WA again? Wow, I'm
Washington State.
I'm homeschooled. Is that Washington? Okay. I wanted to say Wisconsin, but like that's not right. Okay. Washington. He said it's like North Carolina, but with a Starbucks every other block. As much anticipation for the return of the Sonics as the return of Christ at the most boring accent in the United States. Which, hey, Jonathan, Mark actually responded to you and didn't ghost you like John Mark McMillan did. So, which I did send that comment to Eric and Jonathan, and they both appreciated it. Eric was like, I love Mark. I don't care who knows it. So, really, really appreciate the feedback, man. And thanks for the support. And that is all of the comments. I also did want to address that it's been a little crazy on the Instagram side of things.
Yeah.
So because I posted a clip of the last episode where like the 5% of the conversation, like the 2 minutes of the episode that we talked about 21 Pilots, where Eric shared his now kind of outdated prediction that I bumped my camera. Don't look at my messy room. He had this a prediction that 21 Pilots was going to play a Christian halftime Super Bowl halftime show that Corey Asbury and Forrest Frank were talking about possibly doing, which they're not doing, at least not this year. But we didn't know that at the time. But I decided to share the clip anyways, and it is the best performing Instagram post that I've ever done, and it's
for real.
Let me see where it's at right now. We are at almost 30K views on Instagram with let's see how many likes. Almost 2,500 likes, which is crazy. And it's been great. There have been a lot of really good like positive responses, people really liking what Eric's saying. Some people have come, they've followed me on Instagram, and a few people have trickled down to the YouTube channel, so I appreciate it. Thanks for joining us. But there's been with all the positivity, there has been a small minority of haters from the 21 Pilots crowd, people who aren't believers. So they definitely had some things to say about it, and me and Eric from Sower were kind of having some fun kind of interacting with them. I've even gotten a couple DMs and been in conversation with people, which I appreciate it. I appreciate the engagement and the chance to be able to, share my faith and why I believe what I believe. But it's been a little crazy and a little taxing, a little bit. This is definitely bigger than the time that Derek Webb shared my video and I got all those haters there. This is like way bigger than that. So pray for me that I think it's dying down now, but it was a crazy couple of days. So thank you to the Instagram algorithm lords. Yep. A lot of people are sharing their opinions. So I'm like, I'm going to be posting these to Instagram more. This is doing pretty well. But so yeah, well maybe God will use that for the benefit of this channel. We'll see. So anyways, just wanted to address that. Really exciting.
Sorry,
things.
I'm still
I think. Go ahead.
Sorry. I got that real video that you have on the loop right now on Instagram, and I'm trying to figure out if I'm seeing your hair or your chair. You had a haircut, didn't you?
Oh yeah, I did. Yeah, just like only slightly, kind of. I got it for my Halloween costume. It had to be a little shorter, but I like it at this length anyways. I think I'm going to keep it this way. But, if you're not seeing the back, then you can't really tell. But, yeah, party's always in the back.
Sorry, that was just a random side comment. But, yeah, holy moly. What?
Yeah, my hair was longer in that clip.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
I meant now I'm back to the comments
thank
and
you.
the views. I'm like, hot damn, my dude.
It's like, oh wow, thanks, Nick. But it is a lot. Yeah, I mean, who knew 21 Pilots being a popular a popular topic? Those hashtags, really help out. Yeah, I've never gotten the most a reel has ever done is like 2,000 views, and we posted another one not talking about 21 Pilots, and that's basically what it's gotten right now, which is good. But almost like 30K.
Excuse me.
That's crazy. Like even Eric and Jonathan we've been texting and just been like, wow, this is a lot. So maybe I'm just going to turn this channel into a 21 Pilots channel. You know, that's just all I'm going to talk about.
Yeah, probably good.
Because, yeah, why not?
Yeah, I had to look back on
Maybe
my
not.
most popular reel. I was like, oh yeah. It was back during COVID.
Yeah.
Like there was Taylor Swift's song
Oh, yeah.
22, and then metal drummer 66 Samus, and one of his inside jokes is the number 22. So it's like because it's just fun to say.
So that did pretty well.
2022. So what I did, I just meshed together the once a little bits of the song chorus with a little meme video from one of his clips. So I just meshed it together. So I was like, yeah. I'm gonna personally share it.
Yeah, I don't even remember that. I'll have to.
That's old.
Yeah, you'll have to send that to me because I don't even remember. But wow, it has been like 45 minutes and we haven't even gotten to the main topic yet. I do apologize. Eric gets on me every time. He's like, you got to get to the main point. It's like, sorry, there's a lot to talk about, and that's what's going to change with the change in the YouTube channel is that no more of this dilly-dallying.
And then
like
me and
videos,
Joshua know how to derail the
point.
conversation.
I mean, hey, if that happens, it happens, you know. And the good thing is I can edit it out. I'll have time to edit things out that I don't like. So, yeah. We'll see about that. Which, by the way, I'll just say now, I have recorded a new video. It wasn't one that I've talked about before, but it's just a fun little video that I recorded. I'm going to edit it, and it's going to be out. The plan is for it to be out on December 9th. So we got that. And if you want to know what the topic is, the date itself, December 9th, is a clue. So do with that what you will. Anyways, no more dilly-dallying. Let's get right into the news. So this was something that we touched on for like a minute in the last episode. We briefly mentioned this. There's this new record label that has been making some ground lately, and I think it's a pretty big deal, something interesting to talk about. Now, the first time that I heard about Anotherland Records was actually when I was hanging out with John Van Dusen at AudioFeed last year, and it was me and Eric and John. We were all chatting, and he was talking about the new record label that he was signing to because he was leaving Tooth and Nail and joining Anotherland Records. And I had no idea what he was talking about, but one thing that interested me was that it was co-founded by Joel Houston, who, if you've been in like youth group or worship culture long enough, you'll recognize that name. He is he's a Hillsong pastor, leader of Hillsong United, and the son of the founder of Hillsong, Brian Houston, which we're going to talk about Hillsong for sure, but we're going to try to leave that for last. I mostly want to talk about the record label, but I just found that interesting. I was like, oh, wow, okay. I guess, you know, Joel Houston is doing a new thing. And they have since accrued a whole roster of both well-known and very new artists. Some that you'll recognize, some of them we've even talked about on this channel. And so they seem to be creating quite a buzz. So I just want to talk about some of the artists that I at least recognized before that they have. They've got Well, first of all, there are a lot of other former Hillsong affiliated artists. Like Joel Houston has his own project right now called Amen Radio, although it's spelled AMXN Radio for some reason, but it's pronounced Amen Radio. It just looks like MXN Radio. But that's his thing that he's been doing. Iodin King, I don't know if that's actually how you pronounce it. I think it's like an Australian thing, but he is also from Hillsong. But you've also got Citizens, which is a pretty big indie Christian band. We've got Colony House, and you've also got John Mark McMillan now, and then of course John Van Dusen, and even Martin Smith. I didn't realize until looking at the roster, but Martin Smith, some of y'all know him as the former lead singer of Delirious, and now, you know, more known for like being a famous worship leader. I only found out recently, like within the past year, that Martin Smith and Kim Walker Smith were married. I had no idea, but you know, you learn something new every day. Then there's Matt Crocker, who is also formerly Hillsong. And then you've got the Brothers of Colony House's new project, the side project they've been doing, Two Car Garage. So they're signed as well. So those are just the artists that that most people would recognize. There's also other ones that I personally didn't recognize. They seem more new, but there's Ben Tan, Claudia Izaki. Sorry if I mispronounce any of these names. Ethan Beer, Ethan Nathaniel, Emma Piers, Jesse Villa, Jimmy James, Jordan Cole, Karina Savage, Lauren Scott, Light Music Collection, Little Blue Machine, MK Green, Mooney, much more. Sunday, Sunscreen. We got two suns in there. Talon, Taylor Charmaine, Tekoa, Tides, and yeah, man, a lot of those names, I'm sure it's a new Fepeste situation. They're gonna DM me on Instagram, and it's like, it's Tekoa. You got it wrong. I don't know. But yeah, so that's all those artists that they have signed on with them. And I took a listen to, at least I tried to take a listen to a lot of these artists. Some of them are very newly signed, so they didn't have any newly released music through Anotherland. So I kind of skipped them. I tried to stick with the music that was released through Anotherland because I wanted to get a gauge of what they sounded like, or not what they sounded like, but the kind of music that they produced. Like what's their vibe with a lot of record labels. They especially with like Tooth and Nail. Tooth and Nail has always had like a certain aesthetic, you know, in a way. I mean, very diverse, but still like kind of a similar aesthetic. And so I was wondering, like, okay, well, what's Anotherland's thing? And from what I've been able to grab from all the artists that I've listened to, it's basically anywhere from like there is a lot of worship, but it's all mostly a lot of just like indie alternative. Doesn't really get much heavier than that. I think their heaviest artist would probably be Two Car Garage, honestly. So probably not going to be seeing any metal bands, or I guess John Van Dusen. John Van Dusen can get pretty heavy. But yeah, I don't. Nick, did you get a chance to listen to any of the artists on there?
Nope, I did not.
Okay. Well, you're familiar with some of them on there, right?
Oh yeah.
Like,
And we've
listened to
both
John
seen
Mark
Colony
McMillan
House.
and Right. Yeah. Yeah, that's right. You were at that show. I forgot. We just didn't know. We didn't know that we were at the same
Yeah,
show.
I know that was crazy. That was the crazy part too. I was like, "What?
Yeah.
You were there too?"
Yeah.
Oh,
And I probably would have said something if I was invited by other friends to go. So, but
yeah.
anyways, and then of course, John Van Dusen. We've sung his praises plenty of times on here.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, that's just kind of the general vibe. Now, so yeah, anywhere from there's some music like especially the Hillsong guys like Aoden King. I listened to his newest album. It's like a collaboration. It was a collaboration with I think one of the other artists. Let me pull it up here. Oh yeah, it was a collab with Abby Gamboa. It's an album called Throwing Paint, and that was like, this is kind of like very strictly worship music. Like I didn't really find it interesting. It was kind of boring. It was very Hillsong-y. So I was kind of disappointed in that, but like I listened to Amen Radio from Joel Houston and I enjoyed it actually. Like it kind of got a little boring sometimes because it's very experimental. It's Joel like experimenting with different sounds and like synthesizers and such. So sometimes it got a little like, okay, I get it, but it's cool because for all the criticisms that I have for like Hillsong and such, there is some stuff that Hillsong United specifically came out with, and it's like, this is like really creative and like interesting production. So it doesn't surprise me that Joel comes out with something that is, pretty high quality and like pretty interesting to listen to. But we'll see if I like have any ambition to really listen to it anymore again. And then of course, I finally had took the excuse to listen to Citizen's new album, Museum. A lot of people were trying to get me to listen to it, and I didn't for the longest time for whatever reason, and I really did enjoy it. And I plan to go back on it. I don't have a full review of it, of course, right now, but listening to it once, I'm like, what? I think I'll come back to this. I think this is really good. Ethan Nathaniel is a little bit more folky, but I liked him. And also, so Light Music Collection, it seems to be like an indie folk worship kind of project. I don't know all the people who are involved, but I was listening to it, and one of the songs, there was a singer on there, and I'm listening to it, and I'm like, I know this voice. And then I realized, I'm like, this is Tyson Matzenbacher. This is Tyson Matzenbacher singing on this. And I looked because he's not credited or like featured, like how Spotify shows the features on it, like for any collaborations.
Yeah.
He's not mentioned on there or anything. But if you look in the writing credits, and the song is called Lost and Found. If you look in the writing credits, it says that Tyson Matzenbacher wrote it. So I'm like, this is Tyson Matzenbacher. He came out with a worship song and didn't think that we would notice. So yeah, I would recommend that the album's called Mercy Dawns by Light Music Collection, and it does seem to be like a collective of different people, and I guess it includes Tyson Matzenbacher. He only leads the one song, but yeah, I just kind of find it funny because the recent album he came out with, his music tends to not be like very explicitly Christian, and he had one song on it that was, it was called I'm Doing My Best. And it was a song like to Jesus, being like, Jesus, I'm doing my best. But then the rest of the song is kind of like him airing out his doubts and frustrations and such. So whenever he does sing about his faith, that seems to be what it is. It's just like, I have these doubts and such. I'm like, okay, I get it, man. but then he comes out with a worship song and he doesn't want people to know about it, it seems. So I was like, come on, man. It's like, this is good. And I don't know. He's like, I don't know. It's messing with my brand. My brand of being doubtful and edgy. But, okay. So yeah, just talking a little bit more about the artists and we'll move on. But I listened to Matt Crocker's album and it was pretty decent. I really enjoyed Much More. That was an artist I was not familiar with. His album Born Again Again. Are you familiar with Nick? With him, Nick? Much More? Or
no.
Or were you just reacting? Okay.
I was reacting
when you were just like,
oh,
yep,
yeah?
I was like, oh, you know him.
No.
Yeah, so Much More is good, and Much More needs to do a tour with Make Sure. Just saying, because the names kind of sound similar. Much More and Make Sure. But yeah, his album Born Again Again, I was really enjoying. So yeah, as far as I can tell, quality music, and that kind of seems to be their standard. The question is it Christian? Now, looking at the artist roster, it kind of seems like that they're Christian, especially since a lot of it is explicitly worship music. But I was looking at some of the artists on here that I didn't listen to because they haven't released anything through Anotherland just yet. But I looked at their Spotify, and there was a couple artists on there that I was like, there's a lot of like explicit marked songs on here, which we've talked about on the show. I'm not necessarily like, I think it might be the artist Mooney, Moony. Yeah, he has like one song. No, he has 3 songs on his popular songs on Spotify that are marked explicit. Now, granted, I haven't listened to it, so I could be wrong. But, and I'm not saying that if you have explicit lyrics in your music that you're not a Christian or anything, that you're not a Christian artist or anything. And like I said, I'm not offended by, some language in, Christian music. If I ever talk about Christian music, like reviews and such that have explicit lyrics in them, I usually mention it, just to let people know. But it does kind of make me question. It's like, I wonder. So I don't really know anything about Mooney, but also Two Car Garage. That was one thing about their album. I didn't review it on here, but Two Car Garage from the Colony House Brothers also has some explicit lyrics in it. So, but I know that they profess to be Christian. So my point is if you're judging off of the artist, it's like, I think they're Christian, but I'm not so sure. But Nick, why don't we go ahead and take a look at their About page? I'm going to go ahead and share. So this is the Anotherland website here. So, and I'm on the About tab. And as much as I'm trying to praise Anotherland, Nick, I'm going to tell you right now, this About section annoys me a great deal. And we'll get into why.
I have similar sentiments about that. Not saying I'm annoyed, but I'm just like, eh.
Yeah. Well, it's
Let's
for 2 reasons, because we're going to read through it and maybe I missed something, but like it's all too vague, but also you have to click so many times to like get to what they're trying to say. So, but we'll get into it. So this is their About section. We are a company of spirit animals, which that kind of already annoys me. I don't know why. There's something very annoying about that phrase, but whatever. Artists, writers, producers, dreamers, and doers. Storytellers, world builders, cultural alchemists, redemptive disruptors, problem solvers, path makers, and otherwise ordinary people knit together in the shared passion and belief that music, I don't know why it's spelled that way, M-U-S exclamation point C, music as an art form, not an industry, is unrivaled in its power to be a positive, unifying force in the world, and those brave enough to create it and wanting to share it with the world are worth fighting for, not as commodities, but as people, the humankind. It's a little shade at AI, I feel like. We exist to reimagine the partnership between music creators and the support they need, on their terms, not ours, to better serve and empower writers, producers, and artists to make the music that moves them, because we believe that that's the kind of music that best moves others, not an algorithm, but humankind. And then it's like, save me the hyperbole, I want the simple version. So we have to click here to get more about what they're talking about. Anotherland is a creative and marketing agency, production studio, and music services company based in Los Angeles, Nashville, London, and Sydney, serving writers, producers, and artists. Interested? Here's an email. I like this. Tell me more. So we have to click again.
What?
Forging new pathways, cultivating bespoke worlds around artists and projects in pursuit of deeper roots of community, wider engagement, and sustainable impact. For artist development, project management, audience engagement, digital strategy, Main Street and underground marketing, label support, music publishing, and sync, live events and production, we exist to reimagine the partnership between music creators and the support they need on their terms, not ours. Oh, so like a record label. I like this. We have to click again.
What?
Well, yeah, kinda, but don't label us. Good pun there. Labels are for cereal boxes or packaged goods with a use-by date. We're not about putting people in boxes, especially artists. Boxes are where art goes to die, and people when they die. So yeah, boxes and labels aren't really our thing. So what's your thing? We gotta click again.
What? Again?
Oh wow. So they got a whole creed here. We believe in people. We believe in spaces. We believe in creating spaces for people to create. We believe that creativity should be fearless. We believe community matters the most. We believe good community fosters good creativity. We believe transparency makes everyone better. So then be transparent. Don't be vague. We believe technology is a tool, not a god. We believe metrics help, but they're neither ruler nor king. We believe that X is more important than ticking all the boxes. We believe content needs to maintain some soul, or it's just more noise. We believe the artist comes first, the art comes second, and then everything else. We believe healthy artists matter more in the end than jaded fame or success. We believe in partnership, not ownership. We believe the artist should be in control of their work. We believe in the end the journey matters more than the destination. We believe that failure is a servant, not a dictator. We believe in failing in the most beautiful way. We believe the best art is the redemptive kind. We believe in the power of go and go again. Should I go on? We believe in music drenched in light and shadow and flesh and blood, real life. We believe in music that asks more questions in search of answers than more opinions in search of a choir. We believe in music that seeks to bring people together, not drive us further apart. We believe in music about heaven and earth and the dying space in between. We believe in the end, how we went about it will matter more than what we did. All right, I get it, but what do you actually do? We have to click again. The short answer is, oh my gosh, as much or as little as an artist needs. Our mission is to align our passion to the passion it took them to make it, to offer our creativity and experience and the best of our efforts, to help take their music as far and wide as there are ears to hear, hearts to feel, and minds to know just how good it is. And still, I feel like I haven't really learned anything. Honestly. Like, okay, so I get what a lot of the things that they're trying to say, and I get it, and I like it. I like their approach to art. I think that record labels should be like art first, and then like everything else comes after, like the industry and the money. Like I like record labels that uh, prioritize the art rather than the money making part. The thing that
And
bothers
there's more
me
than plenty.
is like plenty of what?
Yeah, and there's plenty of labels that do that.
Yeah, yeah, and I like that. I mean, I think we need more of that in the Christian music field. Um, but I think the thing that bothers me, and I'm not saying that another land has to make any kind of strong statements of faith or anything. Um, like if this is what they say on their website, but also like behind the scenes, the way that they communicate with their artists is like, hey, we're a Christian label. These are the things that are important to us, the things that we believe, and hopefully that you can at least align somewhat with this, and then we can just go from here, and that's fine. I'd be okay with that. I think the problem though is if their statements, if their about section is representative of how they run things and how they like what artists they choose and how like what their priorities are in terms of like the music that they promote and produce, I don't know if that's going to go over very well. I think I was kind of talking about this with Eric because, you know, with the whole 21 Pilots clip going viral, we were getting a lot of, you know, of their non-believing fans, you know, kind of hating at us. And he was talking about how at some point, if Tyler truly is a Christian, he's probably going to get to a point of, you know, having to be strong and upfront about what he believes. And I made the point that I think we're getting into a time in our society that you can't just merely be like a Christian in the secular world or a Christian without being clear about what you believe just because of how the world is. The world is like, oh, you're a Christian? Well, what kind of Christian? What is your stance on LGBTQ issues and all this? And so the world is going to force you to stand on one side or the other. So that's why when I see things like this, it kind of makes me, you know, kind of rub my chin a little bit. It's like, you know, you're saying this on the website, but how do you run things? Like, what is the faith side of things on your label, and what are your artists like that? Which I think that they're, you know, obviously we know John Van Dusen, John Mark McMillan, and like, you know, all the other guys that are like seem to be solid Christians, but it's like, I don't know about the other ones, especially this Mooney guy. I don't know. So those are a little bit of my concerns, but I think you Nick, said that you also had some concerns. Does that kind of like line up with what you were saying, or did you have something different you wanted to share?
Well, you brought it up a little bit more clearly, and I didn't even like when I was reading about the website earlier this morning. I didn't even realize that like there was a lot more to it in the about section. And I was like, what? So yes, guys, that was my real time reaction. I was like, wait a minute, what? There's actually more to this? What is happening? Yeah. So like there are some.
So
now I'm actually clicking through it, and I didn't. It's like there are some good things that in the about page that they're saying, but like since like there's nothing since like I don't really see anything related to the Christian mission that like if it's being applied or not. I see more humanism implied into this about section, or more than anything else. Because like I don't really identify but it just looks foreign.
Yeah. Yeah, it's and I get the point about them, like, they're like, we're not about boxes and such, and I get that, like, boxes have been, detrimental to Christian artists, especially in the past, and I get why they wouldn't want that. But I don't know.
Well, you need
you have
boxes to hold things together. You need something to lift
right,
everything
yeah,
up together. In that way.
You need boxes. You need boxes in a way, but like, there's nothing wrong with just having a big box, big boxes as opposed to small boxes.
And there's nothing. And there's nothing.
That makes sense.
Inherent. And there's nothing inherently wrong about having some kind of label, so we can better identify what's in the package. What are the contexts? What are you like?
Yeah.
What are you providing specifically? What are you shipping? What are you carrying?
Right.
We would like to know. I do not know, and even with the specific artists that Clifford shared with me, and then I had to look at Spotify as well, where it's like, in my short opinion, but if I was gonna have make a label like this, I would have to make sure explicitly there aren't explicit content in it in an artist profile if they want to sign with me, and even those who are professing Christians to their best understanding, because like honestly, it's very like I've said, unlike Clifford, I actually do have some problems with it, with Christians cussing in their music, because like that is because it's very counterproductive. It shows how double-tongued we are. And even as for me, who used to swear like a sailor, and even Clifford can testify that I'm trying my best to grow out of and restrain. Mm-hmm. So that's something pretty.
Yeah, I get you.
Because like we cannot be imitating. And I'm talking about myself too. I can't imitate like the world, but still I do. I don't always do a good job at it either.
Sure.
So I'm just saying, I don't know what they're providing. So I got nothing.
Yeah.
Just say no.
Right.
As my dad says, and I just say no, Nick.
And I can be of two minds about I've shared my opinions before about like swear words in Christian music and such, but I think I have lately, in my life, kind of erred towards like, I don't think that, depending on, I don't think saying a certain word is a swear, is a sin. Like, I try not to be too like legalistic about it, but I think it's I've gotten to the point where it's like, maybe it's best to avoid, just to kind of be above reproach and to not give the wrong idea to anyone. So maybe it's best to avoid, but I don't get offended when I think it matters on the context, because there's also the argument about it being like lazy. Like, you could express yourself, using any other different word. And you chose, this word, you chose a swear word,
Well, any other different phrase.
I also get a little annoyed with artists. Well, I also get a little annoyed with artists that are like, I couldn't figure out any other way to express myself. I'm like, yeah, you could, So I'm definitely of two minds about it, for sure. I'm probably annoying people with being a fence sitter about it. But yeah, see, I don't know, and I'd love to have a conversation with anyone who's involved with the record label, just like how they're like, what their heart is, what they're, because all in all, I think they're doing good things. overall, it seems. I'm pretty excited about it, especially since they have so many artists that I respect. So I think they're doing a good thing. But we'll see. The other thing to address is the history attached to it.
Yeah.
We mentioned at the beginning that this was co-founded. Yeah, so this was co-founded by Joel Houston, who is a pastor at Hillsong and the son of founder Brian Houston. And just a little bit of backstory for any of people who, need some catching up. Like, Hillsong has faced criticism over the years for a number of different reasons. For, sometimes Brian Houston has preached some bad theology, some kind of, borderline prosperity gospel. People have criticized, including myself, some of Hillsong's music in terms of theology and, emotionalism and such. And I'm sure, Nick, you have plenty to complain about with their music. And there's also been the kind of the whole thing with Carl Lentz and his affair and everything, and all of his actions and everything that have caused criticism. Which, by the way, Carl Lentz was supposed to be on Ruslan's channel, so I'm actually excited to check that out. That should be interesting. But yeah, so there's been, like, Hillsong has been no stranger to what's the word I want? Controversy. My mind was wanting to say conflict, but I was like, no, not conflict. I'm gonna be okay, guys. But even with all that, there was the straw that broke the camel's back that has caused even Joel Houston to kind of, the Hillsong United I think it was last year, like a year or so ago, they said that that they were possibly rebranding, and they were kind of taking a break to just kind of like reevaluate things. So what happened was, and this was all, propped up by, there was a couple documentaries that came out that kind of addressed these things. And I have it pulled up on here on Wikipedia. It says on the 10th of May, 1999, Houston's father, Frank Houston, stepped down from the role of senior pastor at Sydney Christian Life Center, and Houston was appointed to the position. So this was before Hillsong was started. Brian Houston, the founder, his dad was Frank Houston, and he was pastor there at a church in Sydney, which, by the way, was an Assemblies of God church. So
how about that?
Brian Houston said that Frank appeared rushed to hand his church to him. This was before the revelations of Frank's child sexual abuse became known. 15 years later, in 2014, Houston spoke at hearings held by the Royal Commission into Institutional Responses to Child Sexual Abuse, stating that he received an allegation in October 1999 that his father sexually abused an Australian boy. Houston's statement and the evidence submitted to the commission revealed that in November 1999, his father confessed to child sexual abuse. Houston reportedly forced his father into retirement and did not go to the police. The Royal Commission censured Houston for his failure to report the sexual abuse allegations against his father and for his failure to avoid a clear conflict of interest investigating his own father while serving as national president of the Assemblies of God in Australia. On the 5th of August 2021, NSW police issued a warrant for Houston to attend the Downing Center local court in Sydney on the 5th of October, alleging that he concealed child sexual abuse by his father. By the way, I should have put like a warning or whatever, very, mature content. Sorry to kind of just jump into this. But Houston was in the United States at the time of being charged and resigned from the church's board as a result of his arrest. He was charged with concealing a serious indictable offense. Houston stood trial at Downey Center local court and pleaded not guilty. In August 2023, he was found not guilty. The magistrate determined Houston had a reasonable excuse for not reporting his father, as Houston believed the victim did not want the allegations reported to the police. However, the victim testified at trial that he did not make this request. So he has since, stepped away from the church. Also there was here's another segment that wasn't in there. In March 2022, Houston resigned his position as senior global pastor after an internal investigation into his conduct with 2 women connected to the church. Oh, I forgot about this. It was reported that in 2013 and 2019, he had engaged in inappropriate behavior with both women. So a lot of really, sketchy stuff going on. And he was found not guilty, and, the law's the law, but it does seem either way, it does seem some pretty inappropriate behavior for a pastor. So he stepped down, and that caused a whole Hillsong has kind of been in the wilderness since then, just kind of figuring things out, it seems. And so my intuition is that Joel Houston, his son, probably was not aware of a lot of this. I wouldn't doubt it. I mean, I have no reason to believe that he would. That's just speculation. Maybe he did, maybe he didn't. I think with the evidence, I'm just going to assume that Joel Houston had no idea. But it's like, how, as far as we know, Anotherland is not affiliated with Hillsong itself, even though Joel Houston is still connected with Hillsong. But I think it brings up a lot of questions as to where Joel Houston is at with all of that. And yeah, not really much else. Just questions, questions that I have. Like, where is Joel in terms of his theology? Does he agree with a lot of the prosperity stuff that was preached, and all the the handful of questionable theology that was promoted in some of their music and such, and like, what is his opinion of worship music now? I don't know. I mean, I'm not sure, but considering that this is Joel Houston, it just kind of makes you wonder. So I don't know. Are you kind of feeling the same way, Nick?
Yeah, even not knowing all this stuff until this moment, I'm like, yeah, like again, I got no idea.
Yeah. So I guess I got to stop assuming that like things are like widely known, because it was talked about a lot like last year, and I guess before you were even on the show, I did a whole episode kind of covering a lot of the crazy stuff going on with Hillsong, with Brian Houston and everything. So yeah, I don't know. We can't really make any assumptions. That's all we can do, is just assume or speculate or whatever. I don't know. I myself would be I would have a peace of mind to know that Joel Houston doesn't want to have anything to do with that. From what I'm seeing, it seems like that's the case because Hillsong United has, they've said that they're like reevaluating some things because I think that they were kind of blindsided by a lot of the stuff that came up. And so I'm guessing they don't like what happened and they're trying their best to recover and see where they're going from there. And Anotherland just doesn't really seem like, well, I don't know, because there is quite a few people in their roster that are formerly of Hillsong. So we'll see. I guess it's good to bring those things up so that, we can be aware of those things. Just concerns, and at the end of the day, I will listen to anything that John Van Dusen comes out with. So there's that. So yeah, I don't know. I think that's just kind of all of it. That's all we really know about it. Me personally, I'm glad that there is a record label out of there that is prioritizing the art, because I think that's super important as Christian creatives, that the art is super important to, be able to perfect the craft and make art that exceeds ourselves and glorifies God. And so I'm hoping that that's the standard that they're promoting over there with their artists and such. And I think with a lot of them they are. So I think it's super exciting, and it makes sense that a lot of artists are flocking over there to them. We might see a lot more. I think it's interesting that John Van Dusen has left Tooth and Nail. Even Joshua Jackson from Make Sure, he's gone independent now, but who knows? He could, join Anotherland if they like him. And now, like Tyson Motzenbacher, he's still with Tooth and Nail, but he's doing that. He's, a part of that worship project, so who knows? He might even join. And Colony House as well. So we'll see. We'll see about that. I don't know. Any closing thoughts about that, Nick?
I got no clue where this is going to go.
Yeah. Well, who knows? None of us are prophets. We're not fortune tellers or anything. It's just interesting to talk about for sure.
Yeah, because I'm too preoccupied to even be concerned about it.
Yep, and that's why we love you. You're just in your own world.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, anyways, and I think with all the stuff that we were talking about in the last episode about like the business and industry of it, hopefully they've found a model to where that's not the driving force, that's not their driving motivation, that they're just interested in making good art. So, and I understand, I'm not like totally anti-business, of course. If you want to make a living, you gotta be good at that stuff, and so they're probably really good. I mean, I was looking at their staff page, and they've got a whole group of people. They got a whole staff, a whole marketing staff, and everything. And so, that's good. It's good to have that and to be able to do the things that it's kind of hard. Like record labels kind of have a difficult job now, since being an independent musician has been easier than ever before. So they kind of have to figure out what they can do that an independent artist can't do. So hopefully they're kind of figuring that out, and they're actually helping the artists and giving them the resources that they need to make good stuff. And that's what I care about most of all. So yeah. Well, we'll keep an eye out for Anotherland. I'm just a big fan. I learned with Tooth and Nail that there are record labels that you can pay attention to, and be like, hey, they usually make good music. Now, whenever they make music, I'm going to pay attention to it because they usually have good music to produce. So yeah, definitely, because I follow like Anotherland's social media, so I'm gonna be, keeping an eye out for them, and I'm happy for the artists that I was introduced to, like just looking through their roster here. So I'm excited. What else? I think that's about it. So we're keeping an eye out on you, Anotherland, and we'll see how things go. So yeah. Well, I think that's about it. Kind of seems like a shorter episode, but we don't have a my humble opinion prepared or anything. I've just been super busy, especially since I've been kind of getting things ready for the channel. Like after, like when the show ends and like after it's done, I'm kind of like busy getting those things planned out and such. Like I said, I recorded a video, and so I'm going to start editing those. I do have a recommendation, though. Not really a full-fledged review, but it's not a humble opinion. Well, it is a humble opinion, I guess. But I've been listening to A Liturgy, A Legacy, and the Songs of Rich Mullins from Andrew Peterson. It's a live album of Rich Mullins songs, where Andrew Peterson and a bunch of other of his friends got together and performed Rich Mullins songs at a live event. And as someone who has, so I'm going to be open and honest. I'm very new to a lot of Rich Mullins stuff. I grew up aware of Rich Mullins and a lot of his hits, but it's only until recently that I've been like actually diving deep into his albums, to a lot of his albums. So I'm more of a new fan lately, and this album, like, I don't normally give a lot of praise to live albums, let alone cover albums, but there is something like really incredible about this album particularly, especially since I'm a huge Andrew Peterson fan and he hasn't released music in a long time. So this is kind of refreshing, and it's great for both Andrew Peterson fans and Rich Mullins fans. So I would highly recommend it. Like, it's long. It is very long, because it's like a full night of music. But I would recommend listening to it. Like, I listened through it to the end the first time, and like I almost kind of welled up in tears, honestly. So
yeah,
and that's a lot of praise for a live album. So I don't know, Nick, you got any recommendations? Anything you've been listening to?
Yeah. Well, for some reason, Spotify took off the Phil Dragash's audiobooks for the Lord of the Rings trilogy, and then thankfully somebody else already uploaded the books again on YouTube, because like I was about to listen along to the Two Towers, because that's what I'm currently reading right now. I just got started on it this month, so I looked on Spotify and I was like, hey, where'd it go? I had to go on YouTube, and I was like, dig for it. I was like, oh, yes, there it is.
Hey,
because I do know there are audiobooks.
That's weird.
I know there are audiobooks Andy Serkis narrated for, like especially Tolkien's works. So like I'm sneak peeked a little bit of it on YouTube. So I was like, yeah, he does good, but it's like Phil Dragash does a lot more better job of really immersing you into the story. Personally, so
okay,
yeah,
Well, I was recommended like to listen to The Lord of the Rings. I have kind of started listening to audiobooks a bit more than I used to. And Mitchell recommended me to listen to the Andy Serkis audiobooks. But I don't know. I might test either one of those. And we'll see. I would recommend like talking about Andy Serkis. I wonder if it's available on YouTube, but I would recommend Focus on the Family Radio Theater's production of the Screw Tape Letters. It is so amazing. Andy Serkis does the main character, so he's basically the narrator, but it is an audio drama. Yeah, and especially if you haven't read the Screw Tape Letters, I would highly recommend it. Yeah, they got the whole thing. It's like oh wow, that was like 8 months ago. Yeah, it's like 4 hours. I would highly recommend.
I just
it.
found
Andy
it.
Serkis does. Andy Serkis does an incredible job at it. It's like one of the best voice acting I've ever heard, honestly. So, yeah. I don't know. Was there anything else that you wanted to recommend?
Well, yeah, there's a pop rock band I finally got into when I started listening to more of their discography for the past 2 months. Against the Current. I don't know how familiar you are with them. I mean, like
sounds familiar, but I've never listened to them.
Yeah, they've released music for a long time. I don't think. Well, you're not in the sphere of the online game League of Legends. They collabed with yeah, that's what I thought. So they about 8 years ago. They collabed with the franchise and did like an anthem type of song called "Legends Never Die."
Oh, okay.
It was a good one.
Was it for the Arcane show or for the video game?
No, it was for the League of Legends video game.
But isn't Arcane like League of Legends, or am I thinking of something else? I thought
You're
Arcane was like in that universe.
You're thinking of something else. If Arcane, this is actually news to me. I would actually be surprised if Arcane is in the sphere of League of Legends. I never thought of that. Yeah, so with that,
let me make sure so I'm not sharing misinformation.
Okay.
Yeah, Arcane League of Legends.
Oh. Well, how about that? I never realized that.
It's set in the utopian Piltover in the oppressed underground of Zon.
Oh.
Yeah, because the two main characters are League characters or whatever, League of Legends characters.
Oh.
Yeah, because 21 Pilots did a song for like one of the episodes.
Yeah, they have, and one of my Twitch friends loves singing that song a lot.
Yeah. Huh. Yeah. So just to confirm, yes, the animated series Arcane is based on the popular video game League of Legends. So, hey.
Well, I learned something new today.
Now you got something new to watch. Oh, well, you don't have Netflix, so maybe not.
No.
Oh, well.
Yep.
But okay, yeah, that sounds interesting. We'll have to check that out. What was the name of the band again?
Against the Current.
Against the Current. Cool.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah.
And one of their founding members, Chrissy Costanza, like she started releasing solo music like about recently, about like last year or so. Like she's collabed with a lot of games and franchises throughout the years. either under her name or with the band. And she just dropped a deluxe EP
Mm-hmm.
like a couple of weeks ago, and I never had a nasty case of earworm in my life until I listened to her music. I'm like, oh no. Well, even the bands as well, because like, I mean, they're good. I mean, it's good music, but it's also like, oh no, it's crazy.
It's too good.
Mm-hmm.
Nice. Yeah. Well, I'll have to check that out for sure. Well, there's our unofficial humble opinions right there. Unplanned reviews plus an audiobook, I guess. Cool. All right. Well, I guess that'll do it for this episode. Mark, I hope you enjoyed this episode. If not, let us know. But yeah, so the next episode is gonna be the last one, and hopefully we can get everyone together.
I hope so.
You know, for kind of a final goodbye. That's basically what it's gonna be. Like, we're not gonna talk about anything in particular, but I guess, like, I don't know. You know what? And that reminds me, if you guys have any like particular favorite moments or episodes or anything, please leave a comment or something. Leave a comment below, and we'll read that and we'll talk about it, because I'm hoping to make the next episode like kind of more about like reminiscing, talking about our favorite episodes. I'm working on a sort of montage of like basically clips from every episode. So that should be fun, and I should have that ready for the next episode, hopefully. And it's forced me to watch old episodes, which has been rough but fun at the same time. So, but yeah, please leave like your favorite moments or episodes or anything down below. Would love to hear them. And Nick, you start thinking of some to share, you know, and we'll just talk about what's
yeah, I do got some clips.
Okay, good.
I screen recorded because like there's me causing mayhem.
Well, awesome. Then we'll definitely use them or talk about them for sure. Yeah, trying to think if there's anything else, but no. So be sure you don't miss the final episode of the I'm Clifford Today show, and December 9th, new video, but I'll keep talking about that. I just want to make sure, like, it is it is the last episode. I was like, man, it's only November 15th. Is it already going to be the last episode? But yeah, got it right. So, alrighty, tidy. Well, Nick, and check out Nick's new EP. Be sure to check that out because it's great, and it's called Been Forever, and it's out on all the stuff. So go check it out. Nick, thanks for coming on, and everyone else, I love you, and hope that 21 Pilots plays at a Christian halftime show. See you guys later. Bye bye.
Bye bye.
Hey, this is Stephen Christian from Amberlin. If you like this video, be sure to leave a like, and also feel free to subscribe to I'm Clifford Today. For those of you listening on Apple Podcasts, make sure to leave a rating and a review. Also, be sure to check out Clifford's Clips and Highlights channel. I'm Clifford Today. If you want to hear more from Clifford, check out his other podcast, Podwood Forecast. And there's always t-shirts and other merch you can buy, so be sure to take a look at that. There are links to everything in the episode description, so thanks for stopping by, and remember, he's Clifford Today, and you're not.